chose this mask that you're seeing right next to me for a couple of different reasons. It was my first real acquisition of art in general. At the time, I really couldn't spend a lot on it. And I was actually on a road trip down in the South and just kind of popped into one of the cities in Virginia. I forget which one it was, but kind of trolling through the antique shops. And I saw this on the wall. It was pretty forgotten, pretty, kind of by the wayside. A lot of things were in front of it, but I just thought it was so interesting. I had never seen a mask like that. This mask is important to me on kind of a more cultural basis. It's not part of my culture, but it is considered folk art, which is directly influenced by its culture, by history, and specifically the indigenous cultures of Mexico, and with this specific example. So when I was in school as an art history major, I had really great teachings in fine art, but things like folk art or indigenous art were actually taught by the anthropology department where I was at, which really gives a much more historical perspective, and it doesn't connect it to the other art narratives that we're really used to seeing. And I kind of felt bad about that. It's still present, it's still current, and there's still things being developed within these cultures. So in my learning and my ongoing learning of pieces like this, I really wanted to learn more about where its place was in its society, how it affected it, and then also what is the current culture right now. My history has always been more so finding like the hidden gems. So lots of yard sales, lots of, I guess estate sales actually fit with that, but something a little bit more loosely defined, not like a silent auction type of thing.
I think he's a very good artist. We have other pieces that he's done that are in our sculptures that he's done. And I've always wanted him to, by the time I met him, he wasn't really doing it anymore. He wasn't making art, and I've always wanted to encourage him to do this and to get back into it. And another part about us and art, we don't agree on art. And he likes more dark, moody things, and I like happy-looking art. So we don't have a whole lot on our walls, but this is one thing we agree on.
I fell in love with this the minute I saw it. It made me stop and laugh. What you're looking at here are a set of actually 9 prints, even though they look like concrete blocks. What is the feeling that it evokes in you? And I think for young artists too, to think about, what it is that you want your audience to understand when they look at the things that you're making.
So she was one of the first people I met in LA and gave me connections for jobs that I ultimately got. And then I just really love the vibrancy and energy in her.
The show is really an example of people doing what they love and then living with what they love. So in my case, it's both artwork as well as my husband, who's a painter. And Scott did this for me, my husband, Scott Cameron, did this for us to commemorate our first trip to the Caribbean. If you've been there, you know just the absolute sense of color and sky that you see there. It's absolutely beautiful. My sister lives in St. John, so we got a chance to see it. And what I love about this painting is the sense of space. So you're never really sure with this piece which plane you're on. And what that black thing in the middle is. Is it a gap? Is it a hole? So I loved it because it was his foray into more abstract work. Most of the work that he does give to me is emotionally connected to our life together. So this represents a dune scene. It could be anywhere. It could be Cape Cod, it could be Cape May, it could be, but it's done in Martha's Vineyard, where we spent 20 years of our summers for a couple weeks exchanging painting for a house. So my kids grew up thinking we had a summer house in Martha's Vineyard, but in fact, Scott would give a client a painting, and in exchange, we would get free rent for a nice place. This work, of course, just is so visceral to me because my heart is really by the sea. And I guess being Irish on St. Patrick's Day, you kind of feel it, the calls from the ocean, I don't know, but this is reminiscent of the dunes in Martha's Vineyard that we used to climb to get to the beach. And every time I see the dunes, I think of this painting and vice versa.
The piece that I contributed is a handkerchief, which was distributed at the free trade area of the Americas protest in the spring of 2001. And it was given to me by a friend who went, and there's a text that is kind of going around the border here, and the way that it's designed is it's designed to be folded. So if you put the handkerchief folded over your face, one side would be the smile and one side would be the fence. And then in 4 languages is this quote, which is an excerpt of a quote that is on a flyer that the group that made it handed out during the demonstration.